This FWT Live broadcast of the 2013 Formula Kart Productions Florida Winter Tour is presented exclusively by Ocala Grand Prix. Check them out online at ocalagrandprix.com. I was talking about this morning. We have 9 world championships represented in this class right here. 3 of them ice skating world championships, but they're still world championships. Stoico, 3 times ice skating world champion, racing with us here at the Florida Winter Tour. Alan Rudolph gets the start, cruises along, I believe. That looks to me like Fonseca in second, but now we see Font go back by. So initially, Andres Fonseca, the Costa Rican driver, and he takes the spot back. So Fonseca not going to go quietly into the night here. Look at this. Here comes Manetti, stuffs it under both of them. And Manetti, who again had a problem and was not able to start the pre-final, immediately showing the way around here as he's already made his way up onto the back bumper of Alan Rudolph. So the 2-time CIK world champion Manetti, might be 3-time. I know he was an ICA, super ICA, and I think a KZ, maybe a shifter. No, I think just ICA and super ICA world champion Manetti. And Manetti looks down the inside on Rudolph going down into 1. Can't get it done down there. That's what they called it, Formula Super A. I'm sorry. So it was a Formula A and a Formula Super A world title. And for those of you that were around during that time, I was actually racing karts quite substantially back then. In those Super A and Formula A and Formula Super A days, those motors returned 20,000 RPM. You were allowed to have 3 per race meet, and that's because you needed 3 per race meet. So Rudolph, I thought was going to see trouble from Manetti, but Manetti is having some sort of problem. Now he goes back by, so I don't know if maybe he's ingested some water into that DD2 power plant. That would be unusual. But down the straightaway, he got blown away by Rudolph, got passed by Font, but then as soon as they got to the infield, he goes right back by both of those drivers. So we'll see if that happens again. It could have just been an anomaly. Side by side, Font goes back by Manetti. So the Venezuelan Font now being followed by the Costa Rican, and Manetti's pulling in. Manetti pulling the car in. That is a shame, as I was hoping to see a battle with the world champion versus the multi-time United States national champion, Rudolph, with a lot of national championships and race wins here in the United States. So unless we see something dramatic happening, we just got a procession. But as long as everybody gets through it safe, that's good. Well, the championship, of course, locked up yesterday. Cristiano Morgado, the 3-time world champion, and now he can add the Florida Winter Tour champion to his resume, as he locked up the championship in the category yesterday and made a very calculated decision not to participate today. Of course, there is a very slight possibility that something could happen that would not allow him to drop a very bad race result, and it could be an issue. So he chose to sit it out and watch it today. And I'm sure right now, based on the conditions, he's pretty happy about that. In just a few minutes, we're going to get our friend Robert Gumpenberger into the broadcast booth. We'll try to get a quick interview in with Robert sometime in the very near future, so you folks get yourselves ready for that. Our good friend Robert Gumpenberger's making his way up to the broadcast booth here, I think, in a few minutes. In fact, I hear the door opening now, so while we have a processional race, I think it's a great time to move Robert in here. All right, I'm going to welcoming to the broadcast booth again for the third time here in Ocala, Robert Gumpenberger from BRP Rotax. Robert is the maestro, so to speak, of the Rotax Grand Finals, the man that helps coordinate it all. Of course, he'll tell you himself he doesn't do it all on his own, but I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that it takes somebody to watch over the whole thing and make it happen. And, Robert, I think everyone would agree you've done a fabulous job with the World Finals these last 13 years. Is that right?
Yes, it's the 14th this year, and it's a big pleasure to be in the U.S. this year. We were looking for that a long time. It's the first time basically on U.S. mainland, because Puerto Rico somehow is connected.
I don't really understand that either.
So it's the first time on mainland USA.
All right, Robert, that's great news. Now, a lot of people want to know this question, so I'm going to ask it. A lot of people are saying, will the staff that runs the Grand Finals come from North and South America, or will it be the majority of the staff that normally runs the Grand Finals when they're on the continental European, the continent there in Europe?
The core team, of course, we will bring from Europe, but we are in a country where there is skilled people. There is no doubt. So we will take more local people than maybe we did in other countries.
Very good. I'm glad to hear that, because that's been the number one question we've had since the announcement of the Grand Finals here in the United States. Big news in the Grand Finals this year, Robert, is the addition of Mini-Max, because, of course, for those of you that were watching, paying attention, they did run Micro-Max with the Grand Finals in Portimao, Portugal last year. Tell us a little bit about some of the difficulties of organizing that level of the sport. I know that Rotax really wants to see it grow, but tell us a little bit about the struggles there.
The main struggle is the CIK rule, this Article 18 that doesn't allow kids under 13 race internationally. So that's the main struggle. So we can only let here North American drivers race, or neighboring countries from US, so Mexico, US, and Canada. That's it. So we have a lot of interest from all over the world, but we cannot fulfill it at the moment. We are the only ones that follow CIK on this. Others we know don't care, but we follow it. We are quite sure that one day it's going to change, and then we're open for a micro mini grand final, a real one.
Yeah, and we are all looking forward to that. Of course, right now, and I have to give props to the staff here and our ASN in the United States that's been working very hard so that we can continue to offer these international classes here at the Florida Winter Tour. We have been provided exceptions for that on many levels, and I think more than anything to show the potential of the series. And as Robert said, I'm sure we're hopeful that the FIA and the CIK will very soon announce new regulations. We hope to see that this past year, but apparently they ran into some difficulty, and they're doing it. So the big news, again, just to clarify that, at the Grand Finals in New Orleans in November, we will see both Mini-Max and Micro-Max competing. I'm fortunate to say that the Max Speed Group here in North America has been kind enough to provide a transfer spot from the Florida Winter Tour for each of those categories, along with, of course, the transfer spots that come directly from Rotax in our 4 World Championship categories. So, Robert, any news that we want to tell people right now about what's going to happen for the remainder of the year? I know right now there's a big focus on the Micro-Max competitors levels. Anything else you want to talk about there?
Basically, Micro-Max is in the moment is really Micro-Max and DD2. So we are growing on the low side, of the young and the big side of the sport. That's our growing markets. In the other classes, we are already big. So, but Micro-Max is really, that's what is best, because it brings the young people in the sport, and it brings, for us it's good, it brings the young people to Rotax.
One of the things that we found about recently is that they recently announced that there will be a chassis size change in the Mini-Max competition at the it's called the Mini Invitational. Is that what it's called? The Mini and Micro Invitational in New Orleans. They will introduce a new chassis size into the Mini-Max category. They also will have a slightly different age classification for the Micro-Max and the Mini-Max, and it's my understanding that they will be carrying those new regulations forward in North America in 2014. So the Grand Finals will be the introduction of the full-size, so to speak, chassis and Mini-Max, as well as some changes in the age categories. And that's really to align us with the rest of the world, Robert, because as you said, there are people running that.
It's tough because in the world kids have different sizes all over the world. It was a tough decision where to go, but in most of the countries, they're running the full-size chassis. And it's easier to adapt a big chassis to a small guy than the other way around. So it's a better choice.
I couldn't agree more. I'm happy to see it happen. It's an awful lot like the quiet pit rule that I wanted for many years, and fortunately Rotax worked with us to implement that. Now we're going to see the full-size chassis and Minimax, which in my opinion is well overdue. All right, so Robert, another big question everybody wants to know is, where's it going to be in 2014, Robert?
I won't tell you, as I didn't tell you last year. There is some options, some new places. Of course, we also have the long-term partners, but we're always looking for, if possible, for a new location.
All right, I thought I'd give it a shot there, buddy. And for those of you, again, I want to emphasize, if you have not been to the World Finals, you have to go to this event in the United States. Do not miss this opportunity. If you've talked to anybody who's ever been to the event, and they will tell you there's not another motorsports event like it on the planet, to have it here in the United States is a great honor for all of us in the Rotax program, and I implore all of you in North America, do not miss going to New Orleans in November. It's a wonderful event, and believe me, it's even if it's only a once-in-a-lifetime thing, you will cherish that memory. So, Robert Gumperberger, thanks for being in the broadcast booth, my friend. We'll look forward to seeing you in November in New Orleans.
Thanks, and I also hope to see all of you. And, we're organizing some parties there, and even the spectators, everybody is invited. Even there is 2,000 people at the party, no problem.
Serious fun, sounds like to me. Of course, we're going to see Robert later on today. Thank you, Robert. We're going to see Robert again. I hope, if the weather is conducive to that, he's going to maybe help us with our podium presentations this afternoon. And, man, we've got a race going on out here. I've been watching a race online between Juan Font and Andres Fonseca. If you're watching online, they have been having a furious battle out on the racetrack here in our SH Karting sponsored DD2 Masters class, working lap 14 of a scheduled 24. And here goes Fonseca up the inside again on Font, and he will take that spot back. Now they're side by side through the carousel. A good battle here. Online, we're watching that battle between Juan Font on the silver car in the front, and then the blue driving suit of Andres Fonseca in the third spot overall, and a good battle there. If you're watching online, that's our leader wearing the #1 plate of the reigning Florida Winter Tour champion. That's Alan Rudolph, working lap number 20 of a scheduled 24. He's been all alone at the front since the first couple of laps when he and Juan Font had a little scrap, but since then he has been pulling away. But look, just in the view there you saw online, that continuing battle that rages between Juan Font and Andres Fonseca, that battle has been going that closely and back and forth for many laps now in this race, and it has been one to watch. I'm a little confused why we're not watching it right now, to be perfectly honest, but again, we got to give props to the race leader at some point. There we go. Our cameraman now picking that battle once again side by side up through and into the carousel. Our leader now working lap number 22 of the scheduled 24, so he should see 2 to go next time by, according to my calculations. But once again, I am just the announcer, ladies and gentlemen. If you listen very carefully in the background, you can hear Robert Gumpenberger talking about the potential sites for the 2014 Rotax Grand Finals. But he will not confirm. Again, what we do know is that in New Orleans in November, you've got a date with Destiny because you don't want to miss it, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you, I think it's 368, if I remember, drivers will be there this year, and with the 4 official World Championship classes and then the invitational classes in Minimax and Micromax. And when you see all of those carts lined up on the front straight before they do the driver lottery where they hand out the equipment, the material as they call it in Europe, it is an amazing sight. And then, of course, no question, the most geographically diverse motorsports event in the world. Over 60 countries represented at the Rotax Grand Finals last year. And, again, that's why we call it the Olympics of kart racing. But you have to be careful. Ooh, Fonseca trying a big move down on the water. There's some water down on the inside of Turn 5, and Fonseca tried an inside move to try to finally get by Font with the laps running out. And we will see 1 to go this time by as Alan Rudolph takes it across. Here comes the battle. Fonseca gets up underneath Font. Oh, that's great stuff. The battle for second continuing to rage here in our DD2 Masters final. As we say, the final for DD2 and Masters in 2013. And a good race there between the Venezuelan Juan Font and the Costa Rican Andres Fonseca. Elvis Stoico of Canada, now living in Mexico, running around in the 4th spot. Manetti, oh, side by side through 5 again. That's just not quite getting it done. Now he tries the other side. Here he goes. Actually, a little bunny hop out of Fonseca there as they make their way into the tree turn. Once again, Fonseca with a bunny hop out of the turn, up into the carousel for the final time. Goes up the inside. Here comes Font around the outside again. They're sideways coming out and down to the checkers, and Font will take it. So our cameraman staying on that race for the end. That was a good move by Justin Lee there as he followed the leader for a couple of laps to give him some props, but then followed a great race there in DD2 Masters as they made their way to the finish. Congratulations to Alan Rudolph, your finals winner here in Ocala. Round 6 in the books. All right, our next class that we're going to award for the daily trophies is sponsored by our friends at SH Karting. They are your Zanardi distributor in Canada and our sponsor in DD2 Masters. A very challenging race for these drivers. Just surviving this one was probably one you can write home about. Coming home third today in DD2 Masters, Andres Fonseca. Andres, come on up. You guys this guy had a great race. Congratulations, young man. A super race there in DD2 Masters. If you watched that with us, he and Juan Font had one heck of a battle all the way through our DD2 Masters race. Coming home in second, as I said, Juan Font comes home second today in DD2 Masters. Juan, come on up. And your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he's not just a race winner today. He's the reigning Florida Winter Tour champion in the category, and he's also the 2013 recipient of the Dan Weldon Karting Ambassador Award. Put your hands together for Alan Rudolph is your winner here in Ocala. So, Alan, you have probably no idea how much action there was behind you, but for you, a pretty good race, huh?
Yeah, honestly, it was quite boring. I'm going to go on the record and just say that I think Campbell and Margotto shouldn't have not raced today because I was looking forward to battling with them. Yesterday, I was a little bit off the pace. My buddy Jesse Dunham always tells me to stop winning practice, and I was doing really well on Thursday and Friday in practice, and then we go qualify, and I'm back there in fourth, couple tenths off, and today I found some stuff this morning, and I was really looking forward to racing with those guys and hopefully battling for the win. But, yeah, it was – obviously, I'll take a win any way we can get it.
I'll make a suggestion. Next time the world champions are here, maybe start at the first round, Alan, not the last.
I know, right?
Couldn't help getting the dig in. Look, you said
hey,
some
got to work. Some of us got to work, so I can't take all this time off work, right?
Indeed, indeed. So you mentioned a little bit about someone who's helping you. Tell us who's helping you here this weekend.
Yeah, none of this is possible without Mike Dobbelstein, PSL Atlantic, and all those guys. Mike's been behind Fritz and I for the last couple of years, and we really love him and appreciate all his efforts.
No doubt about it. Get up there and enjoy your win, and we're glad you came back to see us. Alan Rudolph, again, a class act, Dan Weldon, Ambassador Award winner this year, your winner on Sunday here in DD2 Masters. And again, also the now reigning champion of the Challenge of the Americas, the Left Coast Series here in Rotax, and he is the champion from that series as well. Right up next, our DD2 Masters category, again sponsored by SH Karting, your Canadian Zanardi distributor, our sponsor in DD2 Masters. This guy's been racing with us, I think, 3 years now, always a threat, lots of podiums, several race wins. That adds up to third in the championship. Juan Font is third here in Ocala and at the Florida Winter Tour. Talk to me a little bit, Juan. I know you had a really solid effort coming in. Got to be pretty happy with the results looking at the competition you faced in the category.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the numbers may have been a bit small in the last two races, but the quality of the field, I mean, was awesome. I mean, 3 world champions. Competition was fierce in every race, and I'm just very happy with the results.
Should be, my friend. Tell us who's helping you here this weekend, or the whole tour, forgive me.
Yeah, I mean, everybody in the team. I mean, Martin, Tito, Pavel, just we're very grateful to them. Yeah.
Congratulations, sir. Third in the championship. Juan Font, the Venezuelan, comes home in the third spot. A good run for the 2010 Rotax World Champion. I know his goal was to return to the Grand Finals. He's successful in that and comes home second in the championship here at FWT. Put it together for Scott Campbell in second here in DD2 Masters. All right, now I got to ask. I read a news story that suggested this might be the last trip to the Grand Finals. What do you think?
It's probably pretty true. I'm trying to settle down with the whole family thing, and so this is my 10th time now going, and 8 times in a row. So it's a pretty good record to hold. So,
well, now you know a guy named Rene Martinelli?
I do.
And Rene has this habit of retiring and coming back. I got a feeling this guy's so competitive, buddy. I hope we see you again. But hey, super glad to see you're going. Tell us about your tour and tell us about who's helping you.
It's been awesome. It's been awesome to come down here, race against everybody. Chris and Minetti has come out here, gave us a good run. I couldn't have done it without my dad, Karting Canada, Dominic with PSL, Yako helped me out with my carburation all series, and SRA supplied me with a great motor. So couldn't have done it without all of them.
Congratulations, young man. Second in the championship. Scott Campbell, we will see him in New Orleans in November. Only one can be the champion. This young man has been the world champion 3 times. He can now add a Florida Winter Tour championship to his resume. Cristiano Morgado is your winner in DD2 Masters. Congratulations, sir. Thank you. I was so super excited. Cristiano actually got the ball rolling for us. I don't know if I've told you this story, but Cristiano was the first world champion to commit and actually helped us out by telling people he was coming. He brought a lot of very serious competition, and I'm excited that you've got the championship to take back to South Africa. Tell me about your tour and who's been helping.
I just want to thank my dad, who he was very busy, couldn't make it to the races, but thank you to him and to my team, Henry and Rolf Odendahl, PSL, Florida Winter Tour for having us. And just thank you to everyone for a great event. I'm really grateful to be here.
It's been our pleasure, young man. So we hope to see you. Look forward to seeing you in New Orleans in November. And again, he and Ben Cooper, the only 3-time world champions in Rotax competition. Will it be Cristiano or Ben to get number 4 first? We're looking forward to it. And congratulations. Thank you, Cristiano. Robert Gumpenberger with the presentation boards, Carla Bjorklund with the Palm trophies. Again, for those of you who haven't heard, I'm quite proud of that new Palm trophy, the iconic symbol of the Florida Winter Tour. We've got our presentation boards there for the World Finals. And the beads going on, because if you don't know what that's about, you need to get to New Orleans because you'll find out. Get the pictures in.